we discussed about the secondary data. What is a secondary data? The different characteristics of secondary data, then purpose of secondary data, why we use secondary data, then various sources of secondary data we discussed, that is internal sources, external sources, and then we discussed the advantages and disadvantages of secondary data. Now today we will discuss about the different qualities of secondary data that we need to take into consideration while we are using it. The first quality we need to understand is the data reliability. What is the reliability? Can anybody tell me? We have discussed it earlier also. Reliability. Harish?
No idea, sir.
Okay. So reliability, that is the trustworthiness of the data, is important. In case of secondary data, we need to do a connection analysis. We need to understand from where the data has come, which are the different sources from where the data has come, what are the different purposes of the collection of the data, then what are the different methods they have used, who has collected the data, then what is the accuracy of that data. All that need to be understood before we use the data. Answering to all these questions can establish the trustworthiness or reliability of the secondary data. Then second quality which we need to understand is suitability of the data. Suitability, that is the data suitable for our purpose or not. The secondary data which we have found out, or secondary data which we have received, we need to understand what are the different units they have used for measuring the particular aspect or particular characteristic. So the secondary data from where the data is collected, they may have different units which they have used for collection of the data. The different methods they might have used, and then that data may not be suitable for our present purpose. The data which is collected already by somebody, that they might have collected for different purpose also. Their purpose may be promotion or any other reason. So that data which the researcher has collected, that may not be suitable for our present research. So we have to look into the suitability of the data first before we use that secondary data for our research. Then third is your data sufficiency. So whatever data we are collecting for our research from various secondary sources, we need to understand, is the data sufficient for our present research or not. The secondary sources from where we are collecting the data, their scope of their research might have been very narrow. But then if our research is broad, then that data, that secondary data may not be useful for our research. So before we use that secondary data, we'll have to first see, is the data sufficient for using that secondary data for our purpose. Then one more quality which we understand is consistency. Consistency means, Simran, what is meant by consistency? Pallavi? Namrata, What is consistency?
Consistency means continuity or remaining same throughout the
Correct,
process.
correct. So that means that the findings or the results which are being found through that secondary data which we have collected, that findings need to be similar or same through different sources. The same type of information, if we look in from different sources, the information need to be similar, need to be same. It should not happen that if we are trying to get some information from one source, the information is something, and from other source, if we try to get the same information, but we are getting some different type of information, that should not happen. So first of all, the source from where we are taking that particular secondary data need to be reliable, that need to be authentic, and then it should be the findings or the data which we are getting need to be similar from other sources also. So it should be same. It should not happen that data which we are getting from one source is something and from other sources it is different. It should not happen. So all the sources from different sources, if we want to get this particular information, that need to be similar or same. So that is the meaning of consistency. That also need to be looked into while using the secondary data. And for that, the source which we are using for getting that secondary data need to be authentic and reliable. Are you now understood about these 4 qualities of secondary data?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will now move ahead to the another topic, that is primary data. What is a primary data? You have little background of what is a primary data? Who will tell me?
Sir, primary data means we are collected on the to visit the any particular site or to get the survey, sir. Nothing but survey.
Correct. Very right. That means it is a first hand data, isn't it? So we collect it for the first time, isn't it? It is not readily available. We'll have to collect that data, and that type of data which we collect for our research, that first hand data can be called as a primary data. So the data which are collected from the field or market under the control and supervision of an investigator or researcher, that is called as a primary data. So this primary data is an original data that has been collected specially for the purpose in mind. So for whatever research we are planning to conduct, so for that purpose we collect the primary data or the information from the market or field, and that data which is original in nature can be called as a primary data. These are generally fresh data and collected for the first time and useful for current studies as well as for the future studies. So this primary data which we are collecting, so that is collected for some purpose, research purpose or research objectives. That data can be used for the present study as well as that data can be used for some other study in future also. So this primary data can be collected through various ways. That can be of different sources, different methods. Different types of data can be collected under primary data. So in primary research, you will see that main type of data which we get is quantitative data. Another is qualitative data. This we have already discussed in the earlier sessions. These 2 types of data, qualitative data and quantitative data, this can be collected under primary data as a first hand data. In qualitative data, you will see that there are different ways through which we can collect the primary data, that is personal interviews, email, in-house or telephone, facts, websites. So that quantitative data can be collected through all these type of different surveys, collected through different media, and then through experiments, through mechanical observations, or by simulations. Simulation means some method of creating some artificial situations. So through all these quantitative techniques, we get the primary data. And in qualitative type, we can get the data through different focus groups, individual depth interviews, observation techniques, and through different case studies. So through all these sources, qualitative as well as quantitative, we can get the primary data. Then few advantages of primary data. Can you tell me few primary advantages which we can get by collect this primary data which we collect for the first time, the fresh data, original data? Can you just suggest some advantages of primary data before I go into the actually points? Can you suggest few advantages?
Yes, sir. As a primary data is directly collected from the first person, which is very raw, and therefore there won't be any biased data. There won't be any biased data.
Okay. Any other? Saurabh, Shubham, Vishant, or Vinod, Simran? Okay, you can just think of, you can tell anything which comes to your mind. It may be wrong also, but then interaction is important. Vinod, Yogesh.
Hello, sir.
Hmm.
Primary data is nothing but the reliable because they usually we are objective to get the directly original sources, main sources. We are collected the original main sources.
Okay.
So it is up to date and relevant.
Okay. Fine. So primary data, there are some advantages. First advantage is that data collected is very specific to the problem and it is useful. So whatever data we are collecting, that is with a particular purpose, with some particular specific objectives, and therefore the data which we collect through primary research is more useful and it is specific to the point, which is to solve a particular problem. Second advantage which we get through primary data collection is quality of data collected is not doubtful and it's meaningful. So we are collecting it for the first time. We ourselves or the researcher himself is collecting the data, and therefore doubt about the sources, whether they are the sources are authentic or not. So those type of doubts will not be there. This primary data may lead to discovery of additional data and information during the collection. So during collection, the researcher may get additional information or he may observe few additional observations during the collection of primary data, and which also may be useful for the solution of particular problem. Then greater control. So greater control over the method of collection of the data, the samples, the questionnaires or analysis, we can have greater control because the researcher himself is conducting the research, doing the analysis, and he can have the various methods and procedures as per his requirements. So there is greater control over the different methods, procedures which he is using for collecting that particular information, and therefore the primary data which he is collecting can be more reliable than proprietary rights. So this primary data which we are collecting, the researcher is collecting, so he has proprietary rights over that. So he can have confidentiality about the particular data. He may not give rights of using that data by anyone else. So you have the proprietary rights of particular information which you are collecting directly from the market. Then there may be few disadvantages also or limitations of collection of primary data. The first limitation is that the cost is very high. So as the researcher is planning the research, the planning stage, then the collecting the information, analysis, all that is time taking, as well as it involves the cost. As compared to secondary data, you will see it consumes more time, as well as the cost involved is more. Are you getting till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we will move ahead to concept of measurement. So what is a measurement? From there we'll start. We'll understand first what is called as a measurement. So measurement in simple terms, it is an assignment of number to a characteristic of an object or event which can be compared with other objects or events. So measurement, that means assignment of a number to a particular characteristic. You may take the example height. So while measuring height, you are assigning certain height to a particular object. So a number is assigned, whatever height of that object or that person is, you are assigning particular number to that particular characteristic. So that is called as measurement. There is one definition also which is given by Kerlinger. What it says is, measurement is the assignment of numerical object or events according to the rules. Measurement is assignment of numericals, numbers, to various objects or events according to some rules. So there may be some rules of assigning a particular number to that particular object or event. So for every aspect which we are measuring, that may be height or weight, age, so there may be certain rules of measurement of that particular characteristic. So according to particular rule, if we are assigning particular numbers to particular object or event, we can call it as a measurement. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we will have to talk about the problems of measurement in management research. While we are conducting any research in management, what problems may come across, that we'll have to understand. So before we understand different problems which comes while studying any or doing any management research, we'll have to first understand that management should, the measurement should be precise and unambiguous. When we are conducting any research in management, or for that matter any research, the measurements which we are taking, that need to be precise and unambiguous. What is precise? What is precise? Pallavi? Namrata?
Accuracy.
Correct. So precise means accuracy or correctness of that particular measurement. So whatever measurement parameter which we are using, that should measure correct measurement of that particular object or that particular event, and it need to be unambiguous. Unambiguous means there should not be any ambiguity, there should not be any confusion, there should not be any second thought, there should not be any second meaning of that particular measurement. Whatever measurements you are taking, that need to be precise, that is to the point, specific, accurate, and there should not be any confusion. So we'll now go to the different problems which come across when we are doing any management research. We'll discuss different problems, and also we'll discuss what is the meaning and how these problems can occur, and we'll also discuss few examples. So while doing any management research, the different problems which comes, first problems may be related to the respondent. So what problems can occur while conducting any survey or particular research? There may be some problems which may come across due to respondent. So certain situations wherein the respondent may be reluctant, he may avoid to express few negative feelings, or it is just possible that he may have little knowledge but may not admit his ignorance. So there may be some situation wherein most of the people, they do not like to express or they do not like to reveal their negative thoughts about something. So they are reluctant, they will avoid talking about some some negative feelings. So either they will avoid or they will talk about something, some general answer they may give. So this can happen. Or if a person do not have any knowledge about particular thing, but he do not want to show that I do not know this. So for that he may give certain general answer to hide his knowledge or hide his unawareness about particular issue. So that is problem related to a respondent. There may be certain situational problems which may come across. Situational problems may be in the way of correct measurement. Any condition which places a strain on interview can have serious effect on the interviewer respondent rapport. There may be certain situational factors wherein certain situation may place a strain, or the person may get under a stress, or he may feel uncomfortable while providing any opinion or response. So those situations may occur generally if someone other is present along with the researcher. If there are some other person is also available or he is present, so his presence may cause certain strain or stress over the mind of that respondent, and he may not express his views in front of other person. In certain cases where the respondent feel that the anonymity is not assured. Anonymity means the confidentiality or the secrecy of their opinions. If they feel that my opinions will not be confidential or it may be published somewhere, so if somebody else come to know about my opinions, so that type of fear these people may have. And in such situations where the anonymity or the secrecy is not assured, if the person or the respondent feel that it is not confidential, so he may not reveal his original opinions, he may not reveal the correct information, rather he will provide something in general information which may not be correct. Are you getting this? Harish, are you there? Yogesh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there can be another problem because of measurer. So those who are measuring particular aspects, objects, or particular events or characteristics. So those measurers or those people who are collecting the information, because of them also there may be certain problems or difficulties which may come across in a management research. So due to measurer, what problems can come is because of rewording or reordering the questions. If the person who is collecting the information, who is asking the questions to the respondents, if he rewords, if he make use of other words instead of the original words, if the rewording of questions is done, the meaning of the question may change, and then the response of the respondent may also be different. Rewording the question, sometimes the order of the question is also important. If we ask few questions if in a particular sequence, and if we are getting certain response from the respondent, we may not get the same response if we change the order of the questions. Therefore, if the measurer modifies the wording of the questions or order of the questions, there may be difference in the output or difference in findings. Then the behavior of the collector or the person who is collecting that information, the behavior of that person, the style of asking, or his looks even can have effect on the respondent, and he may respond differently. And other may be the careless mechanical processing. So if we the machine which we are using, or the particular apparatus or some machine which we are using for collecting that data, if it is not handled carefully, that may also provide some different information. So incorrect mechanical processing, so that can also cause a problem or some difference in the measurements. Then there can be problems due to the instrument is itself. The instrument means the instrument through which we are collecting the information. Sometimes there may be particular machine which is used for collecting the information. Sometimes there may be a questionnaire which can be used for collecting the information. So in this case, questionnaire can be called as a instrument for collecting the information. So that instrument which we are using, that may cause some problems. Different complex words beyond the comprehension of the respondent. So if you use few words in the questionnaire which the respondent may not understand, so that may create a problem. If the respondent do not understand the question itself, he may not be able to answer, or he may give some answer which is not correct. Then unambiguous meanings. Ambiguous meaning means when there are confusion in understanding a particular question, or if there are different meanings of particular question, that may be a problem. Then poor printing of that particular questionnaire, if it is printed on a paper, if the printing is not good, if the font size is very small, if it is not understandable, if it is not correctly readable, then inadequate space for replies. Whatever space we are providing to the respondent to report his response, if that space is not sufficient, he may not be able to express his complete opinion. Then the response choice omissions. If response choices which we are giving, for example, the multiple choice questions wherein we provide options to the respondents, so if few response choices are missed, the respondent will not be able to mark his opinion. if his opinion or whatever response you want to provide, if that type of multiple that type of choice is not available in your multiple choice which we have provided, then he may not be able to express his own views. So these are the different problems which can come because of the instrument which is being used for collecting the information. So have you now clear about the different problems which can come across while measurement because of measurement in a management research? Is it understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So now we will go ahead to understand what is a reliability and what is a validity. So when we are doing any management research, we will see the reliability or validity of particular instrument before we start the research. So reliability means the consistency of a particular measure. Whatever instrument or measure we are using for collecting the data, the reliability means it is consistency, how accurately that particular instrument measures whatever we are measuring. That also mean that if we perform the measurement or if we collect the data by using that particular instrument on repetitive basis, on repetitions, if we get the same type of findings or same type of results, then we can say that that particular instrument or particular measure is reliable. So a measure can be said to have a reliability or reliable if it produces similar results under consistent conditions. So under the similar or consistent conditions, if we get similar type of results after repetitive measurements, then we can say that the particular measure is reliable or trustworthy. So it is a characteristic of particular set of scores that relates the amount of random error from the measurement process that might be embedded in the scores. So when we are collecting particular information from by using particular measure, so certain error which can be seen or which can be embedded or which is hidden or which can the error can come into the scores because of measurements, because of repetitive measurement or a measurement, certain error which may come. So that error need to be minimized, and reliability is one of the measure through which we can understand how much that error comes by using a particular measure. So this type of error which comes in the scores due to the measure or that particular measurement process, that error can be calculated or that can be measured by using reliability coefficients. So this reliability coefficients are important when we are talking about reliability. So this reliability coefficients can range between 0 to 1. Zero coefficient, zero reliability coefficient, that means there is a much error is more, and 1 will represent that is there is no error. So these are coefficients. So if the coefficient reliability coefficient is towards 0, we can say that the error in the particular measure is more, and that is why that particular measure is not reliable. And if it is towards 1, we can say that it is more correct or there is no error and it is more reliable. So these scores 0 to 1 they usually used to indicate the amount of error in these scores. So example, if we take a test, if particular test is designed to measure a particular trait or characteristic of a person, maybe attitude or something else. So every time when we are using when we are testing each time the test is administered to the particular subject or respondent, results should be approximately the same. Results should be same. So on repetitive collection of data or information from that particular subject or respondents on repetitive basis, after each collection of the data or after each repetition, we should get similar type of data, or the result should be the same. There should not be any error, there should not be any difference. So that is what about reliability. Have you understood this, or you want me to repeat it?
Sir, repeat.
So once again, we will discuss reliability. Reliability means the trustworthiness. And how do we understand the trustworthiness of a particular measurement instrument is by repeating the measurement. So from a respondent, if we are collecting some information, if we repeat the procedure, if we collect the data from that particular person, we should, after the analysis, we should get the similar type of results. It should not happen that first time which we have collected the data, the results were something, and after 2-3 measurements the data has changed, or the findings are something different. It should not happen. So if it is changing, or if there is some difference between the findings which you are getting after repetitive measurements, those errors we need to understand. There should not be any error. All those responses after repetitive measurements, all those responses need to be similar. There should not be any error. That error we need to discuss, or that need to be understood. That error which we calculate or we find out by reliability coefficient, that error which you can see range from 0 to 1. So these are reliability coefficients. So if that error is towards 0, we can say that it is more error, or it is not accurate. The measurement instrument which we are using is not reliable. And if the coefficient are towards 1, so we can say that it is more reliable, it is no error, it is accurate. Isn't it? Are you now understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more thing we will discuss, that is the validity. Validity of a particular instrument, that means the particular instrument which we are using, that need to be valid, that need to be accurate in measuring what it is supposed to measure. Here we take one example. If we have a weighing scale where you measure weight, for example, if that weighing machine is wrong by 4 kilogram, every time whenever you are measuring your weight, if that machine is wrong by 4 kilogram, you will observe that if 10 times if you are taking the weight on that same machine, so after repetitions you will see that weight is same. Machine is showing the same type of weight. You may say that it is reliable. However, that machine is not correct. It is not showing your correct weight. If it is showing 4 kilogram less weight, if that machine is not accurate, if it is not accurately showing your weight, so even if it is reliable, it may not be valid. So some measuring instrument may be valid, but it may not be may be reliable, or but it may not be valid. So in this case, you will see that you are getting similar weight after repetitive measurements. However, the weight you are getting repetitive measurements is not correct. So this instrument may be reliable, but it is not valid. Valid means a particular measuring instrument, it should measure accurately what it is supposed to measure. If there is a weighing machine, so it should measure your accurate weight. So for any type of measuring instrument which we are using for collecting the information or collecting the data, it should be reliable as well as it should be valid. Are you getting this point?
Yes.
Any confusion in this, Namrata? Have you understood whatever we have discussed till in
Yes,
this
sir.
Yeah.
today's session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any query?